So Advait means the philosophy which believes in one reality. One reality that here the Purush only is real, right? Back to the Dvait now. Dvait philosophy believe in two realities. Okay? And not the reality. Purush, that is God, li en réalité, li existe. Et deuxième, Prakriti. Prakriti veut dire nature ou bien matter. Right? Now, in a certain demon qui believe that Purush and Prakriti, they are both eternal. And a certain man philosopher dit à nous que God is real and eternal. And God's creation also is real and eternal. Donc, c'est ban demon qui suivent the Dvait philosophy. Those who believe in the Advait philosophy, je dis in a cells affect real. There's only one reality, and that reality is Purush. Only God is real. Apart from God, there is nothing real and permanent and eternal which exists. Right? Bon, nous avons ces deux philosophies-là. C'est plutôt ban perspectives. Si moi Dimun qui dit, example, if I'm a person who says that only God is real, the creation is unreal, the creation is an illusion, right? I'm still correct, I'm still right. Parce que demain, sa création là pour détruire les. But God, no. God will remain as he is. God will not die, right? Ça, c'est the Advait philosophy. So I'm still correct. I'm no wrong. C'est qui believe dans Advait philosophy. Les vous dire, both Purush and Prakriti are real. Bon Dieu, les real. Bon Dieu, les eternal. Et la création de God also is real and eternal. Ça, c'est another thought, another ban les autres bandimoun, qu'on appelle ça ban school of thought, qui autres pensent différemment. But the point, the main point between these two, the similarity, ça décalité du monde qui me dit là, suivre Dvait avec Advait, the similarity is what? Their aim is not the world. Their aim is not materialism. Their aim is purely moksha. Right? So it's just a matter of belief, ou believe dans Dvait ou bien Advait, up to the person. Tant que bien sûr, so aim is moksha. Right? Well, c'est tout, like in this, right? So I will start the Chandogya Upanishad. So this one was the few terms which you will see in we are going to use in the Upanishads. Surtout Mundaka Upanishad. Let's see. Let's start Upanishad. So we have seen just a bit earlier that Upanishad means to sit at the feet of the Guru, to acquire knowledge with devotion and determination. Right? So the meaning of Upanishad. We have just seen these explanation just earlier, right? Let's see that. What are there in the Upanishad? Kiban content in the Upanishads. Any Upanishad we take, okay? This is the Ansel Upanishad ki nu gain sa, but any Upanishad we take, they are going to discuss the same thing. Yes, in different ways, right? But they will be discussing the same. For example, we have the description of Atman, of Brahman, the ways to moksha, about the nature ou bien the characteristic of a seeker. Seeker veut dire un démon qui want liberation. Moksha. So these are various things that we can see in the Upanishads, right? So we start with the Chandogya. Chandogya is part of the Samaved. We said earlier, we have 4 Vedas: Rigved, Yajurved, Atharvaved, and Samaved. I told you also each Veda is classified into 4 parts: Brahmana, Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyak, and Upanishad. Ça veut dire que l'Upanishad là, il sorti dans sa 4 Veda là même. The Chandogya Upanishad comes from the Samaved. The Chandogya Upanishad is vast, but what you have in your syllabus is the story of the father and the son, right? The father, whose name was Udalaka Aruni, he was a sage, and his son's name was Swetaketu. Remember the names well: Udalaka Aruni and Swetaketu. Now, what was the whole thing happening between these two? It's just a story. You will see that for Swetaketu, when it has this Swet, right? Just lazy in typing, maybe. So, you know, when the child becomes 6, 7, or 8 of age, depending on the maturity of the child is sent to Gurukul. So Swetaketu also was sent to Gurukul. He studied in the Gurukul for many years. After he studied, he returned home. After he studies, he returned home. When he returned home, his father was questioning him about what he learned. So Papa Mem was a sage. So his father wanted to know Kilina Phan. So the father, Udalaka Aruni, was asking him few questions. Then when Swetaketu was answering the questions, Udalaka Aruni noticed that his son was not humble, right? Humble is a virtue, is a good quality. His son had no humility. He was not humble. His son had arrogance. And his son was even unable to answer certain questions, right? Even after spending so many years in the Gurukul, yet he was not humble, he was arrogant, and he could not answer certain questions. And Dimun Kal Yapran is supposément pena arrogance. Mais le monde, bien sûr, as you know, devient voilà, oh, the whole scenario has changed. And Dimun maintenant, bien sûr, partout, certain, plus de t'apprendre ce qu'a fait le master, ce qu'a fait le PhD, qui se développait arrogance, ego. Moi, je ne sais faire, toi, tu ne sais pas faire. Example, all right? But this is not the end of education. Si nous à l'école, nous apprenons, nous à l'université, wherever we, or even in the Gurukul, we are learning. Why are we learning? To gather some knowledge, yes. To get a job one day, yes. But also to develop virtues. Agusta nous apprendre. That is the basic aim of education, to make us a better person, to make us a refined person. Après, il y a un certificat, etc., une deuxième. Mais de nos jours, dans le monde, le scénario, comment on dit, est emballé. Premier aim of going to school, qui fait zot piale, zot même pour dire pour passer l'examen. We will hardly find a student saying, I'm going to school to learn good things, to learn values, blah, blah, and all. Right? So things have changed. This is an English quote which says the end of education is character. Si on dit, moun passe autant les temps l'in apprendre, even let's say l'in fait jusqu'à HSC, spent so many years learning, studying, gathering knowledge, educating himself or herself. But at the end of the day, quand il finit par tout ça l'année-là, il est still in arrogance, il est still pas humble, then what is the use of the education? It means nothing. The end of education should be character. Si mon apprend 7 ans, 12 ans, 14 ans, whatever, at the end, I must be a better person. Right? So, Swetaketu, after spending so many years in the Gurukul, he still had these problems. He had no such great virtues. Then his father, Udalaka Aruni, decided to teach him a lesson. He said, teach him a lesson, sinon he will still continue to be arrogant and to be ignorant. So on page 129, you have the whole explanation. Udalaka Aruni says to him, to Swetaketu, if he knows about that special knowledge which exists, there is a special knowledge, which is the key of all knowledge. The key of all knowledge veut dire l'impli basic, l'impli important de tout bad knowledge. Unfortunately, Swetaketu did not know that, could not answer it. He did not know that, right? Then Udalaka Aruni started explaining to him about this special knowledge. This special knowledge is nothing about God. About bon Dieu, non, n'est pas special. About bon Dieu, non, n'est pas the key. Only God, only Brahman is that. But he had to understand the whole fundamental, all the essential things. So his father started explaining to him, right? We'll go through the explanation. Please follow carefully. If you have any question, do ask me, right? Udalaka Aruni started explaining about the law of causation. Causation. The law of causation is also known as the law or the theory of cause and effect, right? Every effect has a cause. For example, the clay and the pot. Yeah. Let's say, mon mette un petit peu clay devant eux, un petit peu la terre devant eux, right? And I tell you to make a pot. You made the pot. Very good. So the clay becomes the cause, car it's encore raw material, the cause. Et après, on fait live in a very beautiful pot, which is the effect. These days, we had some floods in Mauritius. Why did we have the floods? Nous avons fait construction, nous détruire la nature, et la saleté partout, dans tout le drain, etc. Et dans le sale, and all. Right? The cause of the problem is what? The cause of the problem why we got so much rain, nous trouvons peut-être comme une saleté, une sortie. Right? One of the causes of the problem is that nous trouvons cette saleté partout. That's why the effect is the flood, right? So the father explains to Swetaketu that every effect has a cause. Si je dis zut là la terre, you are the effect of your cause. Your cause is your mother and father, your parents. Ces autres parents-là, c'est because of their parents. So it comes like, continues like that, cause and effect, cause and effect. Today you are here, tomorrow you'll get married. You will have a son or a daughter, you'll have a child. You will be the cause, your child will be the effect. Your child grows, get married, get a son or a daughter. They will be the cause and their children will be the effect. It goes on like this. The theory of causation or the cause and effect is like a vicious circle. You can take also the example of a fruit to explain that. I have a mango, I ate the mango, and I'm not going to eat the seed, of course, I'm going to throw it. Let's say zitli dans mon jardin. Then after few times, few days, what happened? When it sprout, anti-germ will sprout there, right? Then it will grow into a plant, it will grow into a mango tree, and all these are, I don't know how much, and all these are, I will get a mango, right? The seed is the cause. Ta seed là, mon type zetli dans le jardin, une plante. The seed grew into the tree. The tree is the effect, right? I hope I give you, I guess, enough example to understand this. So the cause and effect. Pareil, in the same way, the universe was created by someone. The universe can't just happen to exist like that. There must be someone who created the universe. And that someone is bien sûr God, right? So God is the cause of the universe. Brahman is the cause of the creation. He has created everything. He is the cause, right? This is the law of causation, c'est tout qui est là-dedans, the cause and effect theory, right? So God created the universe, did the whole creation. Now, when we say God or Brahman, I guess that you know that verse. I type it again if ever you have forgotten. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti. There is only one truth. When we say one truth, this is bonje ki truth. Ici, apart ça to illusion. And but the sages, ou bien the wise man, call him by many names, right? Don't forget this verse, please. Sorry, yeah. So God, Brahman is the cause of creation. He created the world. The Brahman, ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti. The Brahman is one, but he has many names and forms. I'll give you the example. Think about yourself. At home right now, you are a daughter or a son, right? At school, you are a student. You're living in this country, you're a citizen of the country. You have brothers and sisters. So you will be brother or sisters. You get married, let's say you will be husband or wife, right? You are only one person. There's only one drishti, there's only one divesh, one keshika and all. But you have many names and forms. Comment était cela dans la classe comme ça, moi, à l'école? Bien sûr que non. You change your form. You change that, your clothes, the way how you dress yourself. Comment peindre, c'était tout changé. Right? So you are only one, but you have many roles to play. Atan is student, a daughter, a son, blah, blah. And based on that, you have many names. Maybe at home, your mother will call you Coco, your father will call you Sipa by your name, your friends will call you by another name, right? Your husband, wife will call you Sherry, blah, blah, or something. You are one, you have many roles, you take many forms, and you have also many names given to you, many titles or many names given to you. But in essence, you are one. Zutan said, in the same way, God is one. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti. God is one. But since he has many roles to play, at times he plays the role of the creator, of the preserver, destroyer. He takes the form of Saraswati to give us knowledge, speech. He takes us the form of Kuber and Lakshmi to give us money, right? So he has many roles to play. That's why he has many forms and many names. But in essence, the God is one, right? So this is the knowledge given by Udalaka Aruni to his son Swetaketu. Right? I hope you are with me. Ekam eva dvitiya. That is one without a second. This is the description of God, of Brahman. He is one without a second. The God, the Brahman, is the very first cause of creation. And he is the source of creation. And don't forget, he is the source of creation. From him, we have been emanated from him. Nous sommes sortis depuis God. Right? Parce que bon Dieu crée nous, right? At the end, when everything will be destroyed, where will we go? There is no other place for us to go apart going back to God. Pena in l'autre planète, en l'autre place pour nous aller. No within a soul. The body will be destroyed sooner or later. But the soul, what will happen? Could wale. While Mars can't go on Mars, because Mars will be destroyed. So where will we go? We will return to our source. We will merge in that source again. That is Brahman. Right? Aruni talked about the process of creation. Right? Maintenant, quand on fait création, there's a process. You will see many theories of the process of creation. L'autre upanishad peut-être pour décrire ou une autre façon. Right? So here what the Upanishad says here is this one, which we'll see. Right? So it talks about the process of creation, how God created the world. So God was alone here at the start. Here par Mauritius, no. If it passe here and there, parce qu'il passe in aucune direction. Parce qu'il passe encore in creation. Right? So God was alone and there was nothing. Right? Nothing veut dire pas even in l'air, pas in oxygen, pas in carbon, pas in none. There was utter darkness. Right? There was a void. There was a void. There was utter darkness. Then God had the willingness to create. God had the willingness to create. When he did creation, he created the free elements first. First, he created fire, then he created water, and then he created the earth. These are the three basic elements he created. Là, après, with these three, he created other things. Okay. As per the Chandogya Upanishad, this is the process of creation. As I told you earlier, if you will take another Upanishad, you will have another version. Okay. So you learn this one since this is in your Chandogya Upanishad. He created first fire, water, and earth, the three elements. And then later he created the other, right? So when his father explained to him so many things, he started becoming more curious. He wanted to have knowledge, to get more, to learn more. So Aruni used the example, of bees and honey. Page 130, vous trouvez ça dans votre livre. The bees and the honey. I guess all of you have tasted the honey. And how do we get the honey? Through the bees. Flowers, tout ça, quand ça bloom, the bees will go on the flowers, will take the pollen from this flower to another flower, etc. Then the whole process, and then we are going to get honey at the end. Very good. The honey becomes very tasty as well. Very nice. But, il y a deux choses ici, comprends bien. The bees. Avant il y a la ciseau and flare. Est-ce qu'il dit you flower or you my friend or my enemy? If you are my friend, I'm going to sit on you. If you're not my friend, I'm flying away. Does the bee say that? No. The bee n'a pas fait discrimination. Nous qui nous étions fait discrimination then. 1 point. Second, the honey. When you buy the honey from the store or whatever, is there written somewhere specifically, this honey comes from this and that specific flower or specific bee? No. Right? L'INCEL. You won't be able to know Kutlin sorti, ki region sorti. Maybe you can know from which country, yes. It will be written on the pot. But qui bean fait ça, qui fleur, l'eau qui fleur etc. You won't be able to know that. No one will be able to know that. This is a great example from Udalaka Aruni, right? And say the bees do not do discrimination. Deuxième, the honey is the essence. Les narcisses ont beaucoup flair, nous get honey at the end. Fine. We are all the same. We are all creation of the God. Demain, quand nous pouvons, one day, I'm not saying tomorrow, don't misunderstand that, but one day when we are going to die, what will happen? We will return to the same source. We will become one with God at the end, right? So this is one example used by Udalaka Aruni to explain to his son about the special knowledge which is the key to all knowledge, right? So dear, next week we are going to explain about the 4 illustrations, right? In our 4 illustrations used by Udalaka Aruni to explain further to his son, right? So we'll do that next week, next Monday.